Dubai Atlantis Palm worth it? In this video, I'm going to share my experiences and the pros and cons of the Atlantis Palm as a group, couple, solo traveler, and as a family. Hi, my name is Becky of Miss B Group Travel. On this channel, we talk about travel-related content, advice, tips, and reviews. If you're new to the channel, please do consider subscribing. And if you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. Today, we're talking about my review of the Atlantis Palm Hotel. So, if you've ever thought about Dubai, visiting Dubai, I'm sure you've heard of the iconic 5-star luxury hotel, the Atlantis Palm. This is located at the apex of the Palm, and it's about a 30 to 35 minute drive from the international airport. The hotel itself has got 1,539 rooms and is considered a resort because of all the other amenities that they have on there and the activities that you can engage in when at the hotel. So let's jump in. Firstly, I'd like to say, as a disclaimer, these are my reviews based on my stays there, and I have stayed a total of 3 different times, with each of these times a different setting. So this is just a combination of all those stays, and then at the end I'll just give a review or 1 or 2 sentences about whether I think it's good for groups or not, or if it's group for families, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's just start off by saying that I would just like to say the staff at the Palm are very helpful, knowledgeable, and very polite. The accommodations were clean, and even if you were walking down the lobby or anywhere you were walking, if you meet a member of staff, they are on point. So I just thought I want to mention something to people who normally most of the time don't get recognized for all the hard work that they do. So from the staff member to the chambermaids to everybody, they do quite an awesome job and make your stay all that much better. So I will also at this point also mention a quick tip about the Atlantis. Right, when you check in, do make sure you ask the person that is checking you in if there is any available special offers for the day. By that I mean we arrived at 8 o'clock in the morning, and our rooms were supposed to be would have been ready at about 2 o'clock, but they take your name and number, and we asked them if they had any special offers going. They gave us breakfast for half the price that you would be paying, so we were able to go and have a buffet breakfast. And also, if you are booked into the hotel, whatever time you arrive, you have got access to all the amenities of the hotel. The second tip I would say to you is whenever you get to the Atlantis, they have like a highlights book, something that looks like this. Okay, so this has got all the information and highlights of what's going on in that year or in that month at the Atlantis. This is a good book to have to read through, but the best thing I would say is download the app. They have their own app. It's on the Google Play Store. Download the app. It has got all the information and it's got daily updates, so you will have daily social information there that will make your stay seamless and easier. On accommodation, I'm going to share some pictures which should be floating about now about our rooms. Now, we went to the Atlantis as a family as well, and I had my kids with us who were under 12. Because of that, we were able to get a room which was a massive twin bed princess room, which we did not have to pay any extra for. I did check these prices comparatively. If I had just booked for 2 adults, it was the same. So kids under 12 were able to stay free as long as they were the same room as you were in. And the rooms are quite spacious and very private, so we were able to stay with our kids. Also, because of the size of the hotel, remember this hotel is huge. I think from start to finish it's about 2 kilometers externally. I'm not sure internally, but they have got different towers. So there's got the West Tower and the East Tower. The West Tower is where we were located on, and which is a bit further from the reception, so it is a bit of a walk. So do expect, if you were staying in the West Tower as well, when you get in the elevators, your room might be located at the very end, so it is a good walking distance. So comfortable shoes at this stage, I would say, are very, very much advisable for your stay at the Palm. The East Tower is near the, near the entrance, so it's very convenient for you. And if you've booked in, and if you know, and you've paid for that value, just say to them, can you put me in the East Tower if they can accommodate? Okay, so that's just a few little tips about the accommodation at the Palm. Leisure and entertainment. So the main highlight or attraction that I loved there is the Aqua Park. There are so many water-based activities for the family, for kids, for just if you're solo, if you want to be, just cruising on the lazy river. They have various pools scattered around the pool, various pools around the resort. There's a royal pool, there's a zero entry pool, and one thing I would say is at every pool there is an abundance of lifeguards. I have never been at a resort that has this many lifeguards per person. Honestly, I do believe that every 5th or 6th person or 7th person around the pool was a lifeguard. So it's very comforting, especially if you are with somebody who does not swim or with young kids. So I think that's a big thumbs up for me regarding that aspect. And continuing on with the water activities, there is so much there for teenagers as well as families to do. I went on to this boaty thing. Oh God, I forgot what it's called now. But there was the Stinger, there's that Torrent of Neptune. I did not go in any of these, but I was gladly taking pictures and watching the rest of the crazy people that I was with that wanted to try them. But it was all good fun. And because, of course, you're a resident of the hotel, that is included in the cost of your stay. So if you're a family, this is included. There is the there's the water park, which, fantastic area for the kids. You can spend the whole day there chilling out, and adults go in as well just to cool down. You've got the lazy river where you can just get yourself a little tube and just sit in the lazy river. If you can, and you've got a little bit of a paper or a little book, you can just waddle along, which is something I did and loved it. It does, however, go a bit windy up and down the resort and stuff like that. So depending on where you board, you do have to keep a lookout, because you might come back and it's a different area and you don't know how you got round back. But the staff are always on hand to help you and help steer you on your way. Now, remember, I also said that this place is very, very long, and we went in August, so it was really, really hot. Again, we were located in the West Tower. The good thing about the Palm is when you come out of the hotel, especially the other side of the resort side where there's the beach access, they do have golf carts which can transport you, and they are on rotation, from one end of the hotel to the other end, because it's a good kilometer or more, especially if you're going to the dolphins or you're going to the rapids, and in that heat it is quite, it can be quite hot. I find that was the quickest way from getting from there to the water parks without having to go within the interior of the hotel, which will be air conditioned, but I would definitely use the golf carts. Again, if you have got your when you get to the hotel and they finally give you a key and your room key, when you do go to the water parks, you need to get a wristband, which they have a dedicated area where they scan your key and they put this on. You have to keep that on at all times. I'm sure, this is common knowledge in most resort parks, but they are like that as well. They scan that so that when they take pictures of you within the park or on the on the rides, then you can go and claim your pictures and you see what you look like at that, even if you haven't asked for the pictures to be taken. But it's just a way that they scan and see where people are located in and around the resort. As a resident as well of the hotel, you get access to, I wouldn't say free access, but within your stay, it's located, you get access into the Lost World Aquarium. This is, of course, where you've got, you see the other side of that aquarium, based on the Atlantis Adventures. Is really good. very educational. They also do have shark tales, because remember I also went with the kids, so they have a period of shark tales. All you just do is register, it's included with your package. The kids go and learn about the sea life, they go into the sea hospital, they also get to feed the fish. Okay, and if you're a resident, you can also book your child in. You get a free half-day session of your child in kids club, and you can view the kids club before you set them in, and you can go and see the settings, what it will be like, what they will do. And also, if you want to extend that, so for example, if you wanted, you've gone as a family and you just want one day of you being couple, and just doing couple activities, we took our time and went to have massages, and we put them in the kids club. So many activities for them to do, and they can have lunch with a Disney character. So if you are a resident, just make sure that you ask them, check for availability, book your children in, and you get a bit of a afternoon off. They do also have babysitting facilities there. Now those you do have to pay extra for. I didn't see them listed as something that came with the package, but it's just a little nugget that you can have some free time, even if you've gone as a family and you have got somebody that they can go into the summer camps as well. Along, again, I would say if you've downloaded the app, they will have other activities even for teens. They may have a teen session of where they're doing some swimming activity, or the summer camps where they join up after breakfast and they come back after 5. It's all good fun. The kids get to meet with other kids, they get to do other activities that are not necessarily family related activities, or you just get your me time, they get their time. And talking about the kids as well, the Atlantis has its own sort of I'm sure every hotel has its own first aid center. They have their own sort of little medical center. Is located on the lower floor near the tennis courts. I have 2 young boys. I always want to make sure where the emergency place is at any hotel that I'm at. So I went in, they will prescribe or give medication. Anything more serious, you can get yourself airlifted out of there to the nearest hospital, depending on your travel insurance. But do check it out when you do go there, so that you know your bearings, because that place is really massive, and trying to find then trying to find help or an emergency situation, or even if you've got stung or something, when the situation has actually occurred, I find might take a little bit longer. So always good to know your bearings. On the beach, so the beach is quite long. Again, it's across the length of the Atlantis. There is a volleyball patch where you can go and play volleyball. There's a docking station where you can hire a private boat, or you can pay for the hotel related boats that can take you around, kind of like the marina. Also, you've got a very good view of the beach if you go on the monorail. So the monorail is actually connected, is right by the hotel. It gives you an excellent view of the hotel from the sea, a backwards view and a forward view when you're coming back to the hotel. Again, remember, because this is also a tourist attraction, the tour buses do stop at the Atlantis Palm. So you can also pick up a tour bus, in the morning, and it will drop you right back off. So that's very, very convenient. It is right there by the hotel. Also, you've got some very fantastic views of the hotel itself from across the road. On the outside, you can see the back of the hotel, and that's facing, I believe it's the Arabian Gulf. I took a couple of pictures which I'll share with you, but it's a very good point for taking just scenery and just taking it all in, the atmosphere of the hotel. Food, love it. So depending on the package that you take, or depending on whether you're half board, bed and breakfast, or all inclusive, there is different restaurants that you can visit in the hotel. Do take care to check the dress code, because you can be turned away if you are not wearing the appropriate attire for the restaurant that you're visiting. For us, for breakfast and dinners, we kind of stuck to Kaleidoscope and the Saffron. It's a lot of casual wear, of course, and there is places like the Nobu that you can go. There is the Steakhouse, But you know, the Nobu, we couldn't get in because they don't take kids under a certain age. So do check it out. So I think I will show you a picture of my son who was really annoyed that he couldn't get into a restaurant, didn't understand it all. But if we checked before we left, you know, we would have known about this. So there are many restaurants about around the hotel. Check whether dress code is appropriate. The food, absolutely lovely, fresh, Eastern European themes, Asian, Indian. This is the place to be. All buffet. You might need to queue up a little bit, especially when it's dinner times. Does get a bit busy, but the turnaround in them changing and, you know, people coming in, we did not wait any longer than 10 minutes on any occasion. Okay, but if you go in a bit earlier, there's not a lot of people. Maybe sometimes if you leave it a little bit later, again, you know, the rush hour will have gone. But all of their restaurants, you know, fully stocked with foods, really lovely, delicious foods. And I do know that well, Dubai is an Islamic country. But when we went into the Kaleidoscope for breakfast, I did notice last year that they had a section that was cordoned off now, that had your bacon and your pork sausages, but it was a really small section that you could go and get your food. So, you know, just to add in there. But breakfast, you had things like, you had egg fried rices, your normal porridges, eggs, you know, baked beans, stews, sweet and sour, you know, the sweet and sour chicken and porks. You've got the sweets, you've got the cheeses, you've got the yogurts, whole variety, right? So you won't go hungry. In fact, we only took half board because by the time breakfast finishes at 11, you're so full, and you've got the day, and then dinner is back up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. So really there was no need for us to take an all-inclusive package, because by the time you're out and about doing other things in the resort, you don't need that. You know, and it's got such a, you know, it's got such a wide variety. So depending on the accommodations that you've booked, you can go from one restaurant to the other every single day. On the bars and lounges, the best one for me was Waves. I really enjoyed that. Of course, they've got your Starbucks. They've got the one Shark Bites. These are the ones that we frequented. There's a lot more other ones, but I really loved Waves because you've got your bowling in there and you have your shisha in there. It's lively. The music is loud. You know, so it's a vibrant place. You know, it's a vibrant place. I just, you know, for a couple as well, it's been good. Even if you're solo, I did really not that much for kids. If you know, except the bowling side of things. But I think there's so many other things to do in the resort that you didn't really need to take them into that sort of an area. The resort has got its own kind of ATMs. So if you wanted to, if you're not using a card and you wanted to grab cash, they're designated. And again, check the app for that. What I'll say is, why I keep mentioning the app is, if there's a special offer, for example, with the dolphins, even though you're a resident, you do have to pay extra to you do have to pay money to go and physically swim with them, different packages for that, but you can go and view them, you know. So you've got areas where you can take a picture. Sometimes they may not come out. We were there for a little while. Sometimes they'll come out. You can get a good view. Also, the tour buses that come on there, there's a east wing. All the wings have got an area where you can buy your shopping, your tour bus tickets, possibly get a discount if they've got something running at that time. Then the hotel has got its own shuttle bus, free service that can take you to Dubai Mall. Check the times of when this leaves and when this, returns, so that you're not lumbered with the fee of trying to get a cab from the Dubai Mall to the Atlantis, because it is a little bit of a distance. And again, depending on how busy or rush hour is, it might end up cost you a little bit more money. Okay, so just quickly, as promised, I'm gonna combining all of the experiences that we had there. I would definitely say my best fit for Dubai, based on my experience, is that it's fantastic for families. There is so much at the Atlantis Palm for a family to get involved in and have so much fun without even having to leave the Atlantis and see the rest of Dubai. They have catered and created a world where there is so many activities on a day-to-day basis, and even if you wanted to take some time out and just relax in the room, they're soundproof. It's very relaxing. You can do virtually anything, and also they've got a spa, a massage area. On that, a little tip coming up on the spa. Do check when you book whether it's cheaper to pay in physical cash or by card when you get there, or if they charge it to your room. When they charge it to your room, it is a bit more expensive. But just going back to say, I think the Dubai Atlantis for families is a big, big thumbs up. It's got everything that you need, and so much fun, great memories for the family. As a group, I don't think it is the best. For example, if it was a group of girls or ladies or men, even guys, it just depends how good your group is at timekeeping and how coordinated you are, because it can be a bit of a challenge. Okay, it can be a bit of a challenge, especially if you're in different wings of the hotel. So as a group, especially for us as women, I found it a little bit of a challenge. It can be done, especially if you're booking a resort room or a big plaza a big suite where you can fit 8 people. That way at least you've got more of the coordinated efforts and things of that nature. So yeah, and if one person has to go back up into the room to get this, it can be because the hotel is so massive. So I think as a group you've got different dynamics, and it's a bit different from a family. If I forget something, my husband can run up and get it, and that sort of. But if in a group you're waiting for someone, the dynamics I find are just a bit difficult. So it is. I'm not saying it's not perfect for groups, but it's something that you might want to consider before you do booking as a group. As a solo traveler, I think that is perfect. You get to enjoy this at your leisure. There is always loads of people happy to take pictures of you. Their staff will be more than happy to take a picture of you. You can wander from morning to evening. You can see every corner of the hotel, and I think it's perfect. Again, for couples, I think it can be perfect. If you take off all the walking and going up and down, and it is also a perfect place to go and visit. It's a bit busy, but I think you would definitely enjoy it. The negative side of things, I thought about this, is because of how big it is. Now, it is a safe place, and because I've got some kids, them running around, and especially in the lobby area, which is massive, I always used to worry about them getting lost and thinking, oh, maybe they want to leave the resort and come over to the rooms, they would get lost. So to me, it was a bit, okay, it can be a bit too big. Also, when you think about people who are disabled or are not able, of limited mobility, they do offer assistance, but it is a long distance. It is a long distance from here to there and back and forth. So those are just some of the cons of not really, that's why I just didn't like, if you're not fit for purpose. And again, the distances, especially if you're in the West Tower and you want to go and have breakfast like at Kaleidoscope, that is a good 20 minutes, because by the time you get down the lifts, then you walk, then you cross over the people in the lobby, because there's always lots of people milling about in the lobby, past the shopping, going down. Again, it's a massive scenic route. It's lovely to see, but I think if you just want to go down, get a bite to eat and whatever, it is a long distance to walk. The whole the aquarium is amazing, lovely photo opportunity. You're always going to meet a lot of people there. So Kaleidoscope, it has got a lot more going on with it, because there's a lot. So that was a negative for me, in that if you just wanted to go, so you've got the people going for the photos, then they'll go for dinner, so you get a lot more. But at Saffron, if you're at the Saffron restaurant, if you're in the West Tower, is just down, and there's not a lot of that activity going on. So I found it was easier to walk down. Again, It's still maybe a good 5-10 minutes from your room, but it was better than trolling through the the numbers of people going through. So that is just my review of the Atlantis Palm. The cost involved with staying there, I find it was better value for money because of the activities that they provided for the family. And if I would do it again, yes, we've done it again. It was better value for money, and because my kids were under 12, I didn't have to pay any extra. And you can actually part stay. I part stayed for 5 days. We stayed in Atlantis, and then another 5 days we stayed somewhere else. So we took advantage of all the facility offers, and then the other time we just kind of had a more chilled out stay. So hopefully my review will has helped you just get a little bit of an insight of the Atlantis Palm. Please do let me know what your thoughts are, if you've stayed there, if you're thinking of staying there, and if you think this review was helpful. Tomorrow I will be reviewing another hotel in Dubai, and I look forward to you joining me then. Take care. Have a good day.